Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR.
Ian, you're on with Meatball.
Hi, Meatball.
Good morning, Ian. How are you, man?
I'm fine, thanks. And yourself?
Oh, I'm doing just great. On the phone with you, man. It's not every day you get to talk to a Grammy winner, a rock and roll Hall of Fame inductee, and of course, bass player to one of the most illustrious metal bands on the planet, Judas Priest. Welcome to the Rocker Morning Show, Ian Hill, man. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, keep talking. Great to be here.
I can throw some more accolades at you if you want. You got plenty of them. Well, first of all, I want to thank you because Judas Priest came through Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo back in May. And as always, Judas Priest just absolutely crushes every time you guys come through here. Thank you for putting on such an awesome show for us back in May.
Oh, thanks. The pleasure's all mine, genuinely.
You have been with the band, practically since its inception, more than 50 years. And it's almost unprecedented that bands stick together this long, let alone maintain such a high caliber of performance. How does Judas Priest continue to do this?
I think it's basically because we're mates, That's how we started out. A bunch of mates getting together and dreaming, basically, and then, trying to turn your dreams into reality. And you stick with each other through thick and thin, all those early days. Hard times. Enjoyable penury, if you like. But it was, you had a goal and you loved what you were doing. You still love what we do. Yeah. And you're prepared to put in all those times and take the knocks along with it. And obviously, you're living in each other's pocket for months out of the year. And I think it's that keeps you together. It's the friendship point. Yeah. More than anything else. I know we've had personnel changes over the years, but they've always been made to feel part of the family, In fact, if we're looking for another musician over the years, a drummer or a guitarist or what have you, we pick that sort of person that we can get along with. There's nothing worse than having, the best musician on the planet, and it's a complete, it ain't going to last very long. So,
right.
So we look for the character as well as the talent,
And the talent obviously has paid off because, you guys have been, again, together more than 50 years. You just had your 19th album come out, Invincible Shield. You announced the second leg of the tour, which is going to be out in Sterling Heights, Michigan on the 17th, which is going to be great for people that maybe missed the show in Kalamazoo earlier this year. Michigan always seems to be one of those places, because you're going to Sterling Heights, you've played Detroit a million times, you played Kalamazoo a bunch of times. Michigan always seems to be one of those states that Judas Priest makes it a point to stop in. Is there what is it about Michigan that's so special to this band?
Well, the main thing is we've always been made to feel really welcome,
Yeah.
We've always done well. There's nothing worse than showing up somewhere and nobody comes to the show. So we've always done well in Michigan, and it's one of the, obviously on the list of places you're going to play. It's towards the top.
Yeah.
And like I say, you guys are great up there, and you've made us feel welcome over the years. And we love coming back. It's a great place to play.
Well, Michigan loves its music, loves its rock and roll. Obviously, anytime you guys are in town, it's practically sold out shows. We mentioned a couple times now that the band has been together more than 50 years. You actually do have an anniversary right now. Your debut album, Rocka, Rolla, is officially 50 years old.
Yeah, I know.
You don't sound so pleased when I say that.
Yeah, I was a young slip of a lad when that came out.
I don't mean to point it out, but that's a huge accomplishment, and you guys are obviously celebrating this. You're releasing a remixed and remastered version of the record, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when we put that down, we had severe budget restrictions. The whole thing was put together with about £2,000 or about $3,000, something like that. So it wasn't much, thrown together in about 3 weeks to 3-4 weeks maybe. And, we recorded overnight because the studio time was cheaper and we could get more time, But even still, so things had to be let go. You don't have time to go back and change something. I can do better than that,
Right,
We haven't got time, we need to move on. And that's the way it was, you know. So it was always going to have its faults. And the same thing came with actually mixing it down and cutting it and things like that. It was all done very, very quickly and very, very cheaply.
So this obviously gives you an opportunity to to kind of bolster the record a little bit and give it. Would you say kind of give it that artistic love that you really wanted to actually put into it when you first put it out?
That's absolutely right, yeah. I mean, it's now got the production that it deserved all those years ago. I mean, Gore Records, they were only a small company, you know, which is why they didn't have a great deal of finance.
Yeah.
And they held on to the rights to the songs, you know. We'd have done this years ago if we'd have had the chance, but we just didn't have the rights to do it. And since Reach Music have taken over now, they've bought the rights to the songs. And, one of the first things they did, they got in touch with us and asked us, do they mind if we remixed it and what have you?
Yeah.
And of course, no, we didn't. We wanted that to happen. And you got Tom Allen involved. And now Tom, as you may know, has been with us since about 1979.
Yeah.
The first thing he did was At Least in the East all those years ago. And there's no one that knows any more about the band than him and the way we should sound and what have you. I mean, the thing is, we didn't have any time to really spend on it ourselves. We're in the middle of a tour, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in safe pair of hands with Tom Allen.
When you got
I've only heard a couple of tracks. I'm still waiting to hear the rest of it.
Well, I was getting ready to say, I know,
it's absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, it doesn't come out until November, so I'm sure there's still some work to be done to it. But of what you've heard so far that's been remixed and remastered, like, do you kind of get that aha moment? Like, oh, yes, this is what we wanted to from the very beginning. Like, did it give you goosebumps or something? What was that emotion like?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it sounds more modern. I mean, it's I don't know. It's difficult to put your finger on it.
Yeah.
But it sounds brighter, cleaner, and like I say, he's changed. Not a great deal, but about as much as he can.
Yeah.
Modernise the sounds of the instruments and what have you. You know, obviously you can only work with what you've got, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he's done a great job on, like I say, cleaning things up and making it sound more modern. You know, and I think that's a really important thing to do.
Yeah. Because
it's something that we've always done with each album. We've always tried to take a step forward with each one and learn something, you know, every time, and move forward with the times and try and keep everything fresh. And that's exactly what he's done with this. You know, he's like I say, he's a brilliant bloke. He's Tom, and he's done about as much as anybody could possibly do to make this more, you know, relevant in today's world.
Well, it's one of those iconic records, obviously, in your library. Before we were going to do this interview, I wanted to look back kind of in the earlier stuff that you guys had done and look back in the rock and rolla era. I found a video of you guys playing Rocka Rolla on YouTube it was a BBC show called Old Grey Whistle Test. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Rob?
We've never been on TV. We were all bricking it.
Yeah. Well, Rob still had long hair. I think KK was wearing this big, like, wispy floral shirt. You had on the most amazing white platform boots I think I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. That's the way things were in those days.
Yeah.
And heavy metal didn't exist back then, you know.
Well, and
it wasn't until the late 70s where heavy metal... If somebody said they were a heavy metal band, you'd know what to expect. You know? So it didn't really exist back then.
Forgive me as a younger fan of the band, but you guys look strange not wearing black and leather. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, we were in velvets and satins, high heel shoes, you know, right up until the late 70s, you know. Everything gelled around, I don't know, probably 1980 and British Steel, everything came together. And the image and you know, the direction of the band and what have you.
You ever think about pulling those?
You know, everything, it was an eclectic mix. Yeah. I was wearing white, believe it or not, white satin kimonos and things like that.
You ever think about pulling those old bright color blouses and platforms out again?
I wouldn't be able to get in them these days, I don't think.
Well, the Invincible Shield Tour Leg 2 happening now. Judas Priest in Sterling Heights on the 17th, and the Rocka Rolla Remix and Remaster Special Edition coming in November. Ian Hill, it's always a pleasure, man. Stay safe on the road. Let the rest of the band know the Rocker, Kalamazoo, says hi, and we'll see you soon, my friend. Stay safe out there.
Okay, yeah, but you be safe as well, mate. It's been a pleasure. Anytime.
All right, we'll see you, Ian.